The main problem, I think, is common knowledge among diaspora Jews, and that is the problem of unaffiliated Jews. This is the most serious problem because so far, none of the existing programs, and I think that this is true for all Jewish communities in the diaspora. Well, when Birthright started, this was when the Second Intifada started, and all of the programs we had previously, which were basically oriented at high school, this was 2000, year 2000, where we're talking about 20,000 youth, high school youth who came to Israel, and those programs have been reduced dramatically since then. Today, we're only talking about some 12,000 youth arriving to Israel. I'm talking about high school age. Birthright, on the other hand, has kept increasing. Today, we have more than 30,000 Jews coming through a year, coming through Birthright programs, and of course, we still intend to increase that. To conclude, we actually have four main points in which these programs contribute. First, the strengthening of the bond to Israel, to Judaism, to the Jewish community for those who return to their communities, encouraging Aliyah, preventing of assimilation, and the information efforts of Israel in the diaspora.
And that is why today the state always saw itself, and even today in terms of figures, it sees itself as the center of the Jewish people and the center of all the Jewish people, and not only the Israeli citizens. It invested, I'd say, in the last decade or so, I think there is an understanding, an internalization that this is the way that we can prioritize in favor of these things through the projects we deal in, is first of all the continuance of the Jewish people, and that means, as far as we are concerned, strengthening the ties with the state of Israel. In our point of view, this is a very strong tool in this direction, and also strengthening the various community and the Jewish identity of every Jew, whether it is individual Jews or communities. The resources of the state and the investments given to these projects, our objective was to, till 2013, to get to 50,000 participants a year. We have over 10,000 young Jewish people who are here for a semester up till a year, and they basically do everything that you might imagine. And the interesting thing is that the additional increase that brought us to a number of 10,000 was from the modernly affiliated, from the less affiliated, and from that new crowd. That crowd that we are familiar with from Taglit, from Birthright, and even those people who come directly to Israel. Israel offers today 4 months to up till a year of personal development, professional development that it did not offer before. That is why we have seen an increase even amongst those populations that are less affiliated. About 2,500 people who come as postgraduates, post-college graduates who arrive in Israel. This might be the most central change that we have seen, and it's so important, this change, in relation to what we talked of, the connection to Israel, connection to Jewish people, the population groups are broader, more people are coming, and the connection to Israel is not only from that classical place of the Zionist home, the Jewish home, or learning of Judaism, but from so much a greater variety of motivations. We would like in Masa to be that central cable upon which and around which and with which this entire succession will suspend or will be the basis for this experience in Israel.
The delegitimation of Israel in universities starts at the age of 18. And if kids come here at the age of 18 to 25, I'm afraid it's a little bit too late. They have to be prepared for life in university. Those programs that actually do that are only those programs that reach those kids at a high school age. I'll try to be brief, but I think that the Jewish world, has a great interest in increasing the numbers. It's a great contribution. 12,000 a year. An independent commission like the Shishinsky Commission should should be created to evaluate the entire picture from the age of 16 to 20. And there was such a commission.
Between Jewish continuity and the tie to Israel is essential. It's essential for the birthright kids. But the birthright kids are in college. They've experienced their college. They've never been to Israel. And now they're in college where we are losing the war in the United States for sure. Holy smokes, I don't understand that. So speaking as the honorary chairman, and I have no vote, take the $1 million that you haven't given us and give it to Saknid and help a little program that I'm making to make their community better. Why do you reject that? Why do you talk about it? Why do you leave it alone? And our kids are affiliated. We started as a mandate as affiliated kids, and the reason why we do less affiliated now is because of Intifada and birthright. The parents, especially bad economy times, don't want to spend the money.
Stephen, thank you. Thank you.
I'm not finished.
You're not finished?
No.
Okay.
Okay, let me just make one more point. I wish the economists were here. Birthright contributes $40 million a year. Birthright contributes $40 million a year to the economy of Israel, not counting what their parents come and visit. No parents come and visit for 10 days, but a lot of parents come and visit for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 9 weeks. God bless you all. Thank you for listening.
God bless you, Stephen. If some of those Haredim would possibly recognize some of the Zionist programs that we have, they'd be welcome to come here. They would probably have to recognize the state of Israel also for us to subsidize them in order to come here. But I do know that thousands upon thousands of them converge upon yeshivot and on Jerusalem, and probably to a great extent, that's one interest group that remains Jewish 24 hours a day. And there's an insurance policy that they will continue to remain Jewish after all of us are probably no longer in existence in 500 years from now. So I'm less worried about them. I'm not saying they shouldn't come here. And it's great that they should come here, but maybe we should have a dialogue about that at some future time. I try to imagine back to the late 19th century and the early 20th century when the Zionist movement was coming about, and people were arguing about whether we should go to Uganda or to Palestine or to somewhere else. I think the most important conclusion out of this panel is that Birthright is a very, very, very important program and should continue to exist and grow from strength to strength and multiply. That Lapid should be funded and assisted and subsidized, because that's a whole other level, so that thousands upon thousands of more high school kids should also be encouraged to come here, and I think that we probably all agree with that. And as far as Masa is concerned, it's bread and butter. So that basically what we should be doing, and all of us are doing this, and I think there was constructive criticism here, is that we're in favor of all of these big programs. We want them all to succeed, high school kids as well. One is not at the expense of the other, and I think that the conclusion is we should never speak out against any specific program and try to make one program instead of the other. All of these programs are important. We have a School of Psychology here at IDC, and the School of Psychology teaches positive psychology. And the most popular course there is happiness. So please, all of you, be happy. Thank you for being patient, and thank you for being with us this afternoon.